Okay, good afternoon, year one. Time for science today. And science today is all about spring and the signs of spring. So what I would like you to do, this is a really fun science lesson. If we were at school, we'd have great fun. Because what I'd like you to do is go for a walk, a spring walk. Now, like I say, if we were at school, we'd go all around the grounds. We'd go to forest school and farm school and have a good look round. But of course, you can go for a walk in your local area with your grown-ups. So I'd like you to go for a walk and have a look for the signs of spring. Now, it's quite sunny outside today, and hopefully it's going to be sunny when you're watching this as well, because it's definitely very spring-like outside today. It's sunny and it's quite warm as well. So let's have a look together at some of the signs of spring, things that we can be looking out for when we're on our walk today. Let me get this working. Bear with me a second. Okay, so let's have a look at the signs of spring that we can be looking out for on our walk. So spring's one of our 4 seasons. We know that, don't we? Shout out the seasons to me. I know you can see it on here. Well done. We've got spring, which we're just about to come into now. Then it'll be summer, and then we'll move to autumn, and then it will be back to winter, the cold winter. So spring is what we're talking about today. So the spring months are March, April and May. You remember we did our wheel a couple of weeks ago before the half term and drew our pictures of what spring, summer, autumn and winter look like. So we're nearly in March, like I say, so we're just about at the very start of spring. So what does spring look like? Now here you can see some ducks on the pond. Looks like quite a nice sunny day as well in that picture. So the spring weather can be quite mixed. It's lovely and sunny today, but that's not to say that it's not going to be raining tomorrow and a bit chillier. So generally, spring weather is quite mixed. We do get some cold and windy days, like in the first picture. We also get some wet days as well in spring. You can see the mud on the floor. I know there's certainly a lot of mud around when I've been walking my dog, that's for sure. And the trees are still looking quite bare as they start to grow their leaves. So it can be a bit sunny, a little bit rainy and a bit windy in the spring. We get a whole mixed bag in the spring weather, especially in this country. Also, the amount of daylight hours starts to increase as we move into spring, so that's really exciting. We talked a lot about how the Earth moves around the sun and how at different points of the year we get warmer days and we get slightly more daylight. So you might notice that when you go to bed it's still light outside. I know it's certainly light in the morning when I get up now, which is really lovely. So as we move into spring we start to see a lot more daylight hours and a bit less dark time as well, and that increases as we go through into the summer months. So more signs of spring. These are the kind of things that I want you guys to be looking out for on your walk today. So we've got snowdrops in the first picture. I'm not sure we'll see too many of them yet. It might be a bit early, but we might see the buds of them starting to grow for sure. Bulbs shooting. I don't know if any of you have planted. Well, actually, I do know. I've seen some pictures of some of you planting some seeds in pots already. So they might be starting to grow. Daffodils. Well, I'm not sure we'll see them bright yellow just like they are in that picture. That'll be a bit later in spring, but again we might be able to start to see the bulbs the roots starting to appear and the flowers just starting to grow. Flower buds, like I say, just starting to appear as we start coming into the warmer days of spring. Blossom on the trees. Again, I'm not sure we'll see too much blossom, but you might be able to spot a little bit already. Crocuses, so some more lovely flowers growing in the ground. It's certainly getting warmer and sunny, and that's what plants love to grow. So fingers crossed you'll see some of those signs of spring on your walk today. Now, more signs of spring here. Chicks, lambs, tadpoles, bluebells and bees. So again, you might see some of these signs of spring on your walk today. I was on a walk at the weekend and saw some Frogspawn, which I'll show you in a second. So not quite tadpoles, again, a little bit too early, but I'll show you some pictures of the Frogspawn in a minute because it was really interesting and I thought of you guys. Bees in your garden, you might see some bees. Oops, who knows? Again, keep an eye out, look for all those little signs of spring. Chicks and lambs, again, maybe a little too early for chicks and lambs, but have a good look. If you're walking past a field, you may well see some lambs. Might be a bit early, but hopefully you'll see some signs of spring wildlife, which will be lovely. And back in year R, this was about the time when we started to hatch our chicks as well. So unfortunately, we can't see them at the moment, but our grown-up ducklings are now still in farm school. I saw them the other day. but this is about the time when they would hatch out of their eggs. So how is spring different to autumn? Well, it's not too dissimilar to autumn, really. We still need to wear a coat. It's a bit chilly outside, can be a bit windy. The trees are looking a little bit barer than normal for sure, before they regrow all of their leaves as we move into summer. So not too dissimilar to autumn, a little bit chilly, a little bit windy, mixed bag of weather for sure. How is spring different to winter? Well, I think we can all answer that question. We'd just about left winter and it was very cold, a little bit snowy, definitely very windy. We needed hats and gloves and boots and waterproof trousers and lots of waterproof clothes. And the trees were very bare and there was very little wildlife and plants around. So spring's very different to winter. How is it different to summer? Well, as you can see in this picture, these children have got shorts and t-shirts on. I'm not sure we'd be going outside in shorts and t-shirts just yet. It's not quite warm enough. But as we move through spring, the weather does get a little warmer as we start to move into summer. So again, not too dissimilar for sure. But as you can see here, the trees are full of leaves. The grass is green and lush. There's not much mud on the floor. So a little bit different. So that's how spring is different to summer in that respect. Okay, let me show you the pictures that I took of the Frogspawn, because as soon as I saw it, I had to take pictures because I knew that you guys would absolutely love to see it. So can you see here, this was in, it was actually in almost like a puddle really, in Whiteby. It certainly wasn't in a pond, we just kind of found it on the floor, but as you can see, there's just loads and loads of Frogspawn. Hopefully I can move through the pictures and you guys will be able to see. Oh, maybe not, it's not letting me do it. Oops. Let me try again. Bear with me a second. Let me share this because I'd love for you guys to see it. No, we're just going back to that same picture. But you can see loads and loads and loads of Frogspawn all on the floor, all in the puddles. So the Frogspawn will eventually, as it gets warmer, will turn into tadpoles. And then those little tadpoles swimming around in that pond will turn into frogs eventually. So very exciting. There was literally thousands and thousands of little tiny tadpoles ready to hatch. I guess you'd say hatch, to grow into frogs. So it was amazing. It was lovely. There was so much of it. I've never seen so much of it before at all. So that's a definite sign of spring. So I've seen one sign of spring for sure. Now, your activity today, once you've been on your spring walk, is to come back and draw some pictures of the things that you've seen. I'd love to see a picture of what you saw when you were on your walk. Maybe it'd be the sun in the sky. Maybe it would be some flowers growing. You might even find some Frogspawn as well, which you can draw a picture of. And then I'd like you to write a couple of sentences about what you saw. Remember, our sentences need to be full. They need to start with a capital letter. I don't just want lists of things. I would like you to write something like, when I went on my welly walk, I saw some flowers, full stop, or something like that. Okay, so some full sentences telling me what you saw on your walk. Okay, look forward to seeing it on Tapestry. Have a great walk, stay safe, be with your grown-ups at all times, and we'll see you guys soon.